Today, we're putting 12 luxury fragrances up against their clones, side by side, to see how close they really are. And more importantly, whether you should buy the original or save your money and get the clone. Now, some of these are shockingly close, so let's get into it. Let's start with a warm and sweet fall monster. This is Lattafa's Asad Bourbon, and it's a clone of Azzaro's The Most Wanted. Asad Bourbon is a beautiful date night fragrance. It's a vanilla and chocolate fragrance with fruity aspects to it, and it's a compliment magnet. The opening has a fruity aspect from the Mirabelle plum. It gets freshness from lavender and a touch of spiciness from the pink pepper. The cacao and vanilla give it that signature sweet gourmand aspect, and this all rests upon an amber base. So comparing it to the original, Azzaro The Most Wanted is a little smoother and a little more complex, whereas Azzaro is a little fruitier and it's a little sweeter, and it actually gets an interesting note from that Mirabelle plum. My verdict on this one is that Asad Bourbon is an almost perfect clone. It smells fantastic, it gets compliments, it lasts all night, and it's incredibly cheap. This one's about $26 right now on Amazon. I think it's about 80% close to the original. So my verdict, just get this one and thank me later. And next up, we have Cristiano Ronaldo's CR7 Game On. That's going to be competing against Armani's Stronger With You Intensely. Now this one actually shocked me. The nutty sweetness and the amber woods are extremely close in these two fragrances. And although this one's a little bit fresher and maybe it's a little bit less dense, it's very clear that they still share the same DNA. And if you wear this on a night out, no one's going to be guessing it's the budget version. This has top notes of papaya, cardamom, apple, and ice. The middle notes are lavender, violet, and elemi resin. The base notes are tonka bean, sugar, cedar, cashmere woods, gaiac woods, and juniper berries. So I always thought of the CR7 line of fragrances as like mean fragrances for 12-year-old boys, but Game On proves that's not the case. Now this smells rich, fresh, cozy, and perfect for fall. And I can't recommend the Stronger With You line of fragrances enough, but if your budget is tighter than a new pair of dress shoes, you won't be disappointed with this, and it's an ultra budget fragrance. This goes for about $21, and you can dig up $21 from your couch cushions and probably still have change for coffee. Now let's freshen things up a bit. Lattafa Maahir Legacy takes on Parfums de Marly's Sedley. Now don't be dissuaded by the fact that Maahir Legacy comes in maybe the tackiest bottle in all of fragrance. This horsehead cap reminds me of a scene out of The Godfather. If you know, you know. So Maahir Legacy has a minty fresh citrus opening with smooth lavender. And some people say it reminds them of 7-Up or Sprite because it has that kind of feel to it. Looking at the notes, we can see the key things in the opening are the lime, mint, and lavender, which gives it that refreshing citrus and mint opening. This has a clean, slightly woody, and musky dry down. So it's very clean and very classy, and it's so close to Sedley. I will say this is a touch soapier in the dry down, but man, they really nailed it. Now the weird thing is that Parfums de Marly's are very popular lines of fragrances, and Sedley's a very popular fragrance, and every PDM has 10 different clones, but Sedley only has one that I know of, and that's Maahir Legacy. Maybe the other clone houses saw the horsehead cap and thought Lattafa was trying to send them a message, Godfather style.
I'm what you call an ice cold can of whoop ass.
So Maahir Legacy is another almost perfect clone. You can wear it anywhere, anytime, it smells fantastic, and it's ultra budget. You can get this for about $20. This smells so close to Sedley it's crazy. This is basically Sedley without the bankruptcy. So unless you enjoy self-inflicted financial abuse, just get this. And still in the fresh space, we have French Avenue's Aether, and this is a clone of Parfums de Marly's Greenley. Now never in my life have I wanted to smell like an apple, but Aether here has got me smelling like the whole orchard. Orchard, that's a weird word. This smells fantastic, and Aether is on the Mount Rushmore of clones that smell closest to the original fragrance. This just nails Greenley's DNA. Aether opens with a blast of green apple with just a hint of mandarin orange rounding it out. The fruitiness settles and the notes of cedar and petitgrain begin to emerge, giving it a woody green feel, like walking through a forest or an orchard. See what I did there? In the dry down, Aether is a clean scent of woods and oak moss with the apple smell lingering in the background. In my opinion, Aether is a top 10 clone fragrance. Not just for this list, but for all clones. Yeah, it's that good. And the performance is really great on this too. It comes in an Extrait de Parfum concentration. And the price, well, it used to be expensive, but now it's come down to the mid $30 range. That's an excellent value. Man, it still smells great in here from that Maahir Legacy I just sprayed. But let's talk about another fresh one. This is Armaf's Odyssey Aqua, and this is a clone of Caroline Herrera's Bad Boy Cobalt. Some people also say this is a clone of Invictus Platinum. Now the Odyssey line is full of bangers, and this one stands out. This one is excellent, and I think you're really gonna like the way it smells. Armaf Odyssey Aqua is a fresh, clean, and woody fragrance. It opens with a zesty burst of citrus from orange and grapefruit, which is quickly followed by the cool and refreshing scent of mint and lavender. The scent settles down into a warm, modern base of amber woods thanks to the ambroxan, and it has a touch of earthy patchouli and green cypress to keep it grounded. This is a fresh, clean, mass-appealing fragrance, and it's priced at around $25. And there's nothing screechy or synthetic about the way it's put together. Really nice quality. So this has that bubblegum sweetness that's found in most of the Odyssey line. And given the price and the way it's put together and how good it is, I think this is an easy choice over the original fragrance. And the next fragrance is growing a bit of a cult following in the fragrance community. This is Hawas Ice, and it's a clone of Rabanne's Invictus Aqua. And if you're someone who values performance over all else, look no further because this stuff is potent. Any more than 2 sprays and you're gonna set off smoke detectors. So Hawas Ice and Invictus Aqua have that winning formula of fresh citrus aquatic fragrances. And you can't go wrong with these, unless of course you spray too much and your neighbor makes a noise complaint or files a restraining order. But used responsibly, this stuff is a compliment magnet. In the opening, Hawas Ice has a cold and what others have described as a frozen apple note. It also has a hint of spice from star anise, unlike the original fragrance, which has a cinnamon note. In the mid, the watery notes of the original are replaced in Hawas Ice with a frozen marine note. In the base, Hawas Ice has a cleaner, more musky and oceanic dry down from the driftwood note, with less prominent amber and no patchouli, which the original has. So Hawas Ice is a fine fragrance, but in my opinion, it just leans a little bit synthetic. If it were me, I think I would probably recommend saving up a little bit more and getting the original Invictus Aqua fragrance, which you can find at discounters for probably $75 to $80. So now let's talk about a clone that's a little bit more niche. This is French Avenue's Atlantis, and this is a clone of Room 1015's WaveChild. So these are both salty, tropical, coconut, and watermelon day at the beach scents. Atlantis opens with a burst of mandarin orange and lemon. In the middle, you get a candied, fresh, and slightly tropical watermelon combined with a rich, creamy coconut. As it dries down, it settles into a warmer, more complex base of cacao, amberwood, and ambergris. The ambergris provides a salty, musky marine note, while the cacao adds a bit of creamy sweetness. Now this is an interesting fragrance because it's a little bit more niche than some of the others on this list. And when you first spray this on, you may be unsure if you actually even like it that much. But I promise you, if you wear this around, the compliments will come rolling in. Now my wife wore WaveChild out the other night because she's too bougie for a clone, but she came back telling me about how many compliments she received on this. And Atlantis has that same energy. Now this one's a little bit sweeter, it's a little bit earthier, and it has a little bit more of a shower gel vibe to it, but it still smells very close to the original and very good. So now Atlantis is an Extrait de Parfum concentration, and it lasts 8+ hours on the skin with good projection, and it lasts days on clothes. Now Atlantis for me is a recommended buy because it's a good fragrance. However, because it's new, it's still priced a little high. This is about $45 right now. I'd probably wait a little while because it'll come down a little bit in price. So next we move into fall date night territory. This is Lattafa's Qaa'ed Intense, and it's a clone of Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé. Qaa'ed Intense is a warm, spicy amber fragrance, and it's very similar to Gentleman Reserve Privé. However, it is a little stronger and it's a little denser. So it opens warm and spicy with cinnamon and honey, and it dries down to creamy vanilla and amber. It's rich, smooth, and slightly smoky. So this is a gorgeous gentleman's fragrance, and it's well suited for a dressed up night out. Or you can wear it out to your local Applebee's. You do you. So Qaa'ed Intense has completely different notes than Gentleman Reserve Privé, and it doesn't have iris. But somehow they both end up in the same place. So this is around $30 at discounters, and this is a recommended buy all day at that price. It's a great value and an underrated fragrance. The next fragrance comes with a warning. It's dangerously sexy. And I'm talking about movie trailer level sexy.
One man, one spray, total chaos.
And I'm talking about French Avenue's After Effect, which of course is a clone of Initio's Side Effect. 2 sprays of this and you'll be drowning in puss. Praise. Praise. What did you think I was gonna say? After Effect combines rum, tobacco, and cinnamon. It smells like a warm, spicy, and slightly boozy vanilla dessert. Imagine a cozy winter evening. Someone is cooking a cinnamon and vanilla dessert while you are drinking spiced rum. There's someone across the room in the distance smoking a pipe with sweet pipe tobacco. So this is a beautiful date night fragrance, and it's an Extrait de Parfum concentration for around $30. That is value. So unless you're a hardcore collector, I don't recommend spending $200 to $300 on the original. This one will do the trick. Next up is a fantastic clone and one I'm happy to share with you. This is Al Haramain's Amber Oud Dubai Nights, and this is a clone of Montal's Arabian's Tonka. These are both favorites of mine. You get sweet tonka, rose, and a touch of oud. Now I think Al Haramain's version is actually a little bit smoother than Montal's, and the projection on this thing is nuclear. Dubai Night opens with a spicy burst of saffron, the citrusy aroma of bergamot, and the slightly lemony scent of elemi. The middle notes reveal a beautiful floral and woody heart with notes of oud, rich Bulgarian rose, and delicate lily of the valley. The lasting impression comes from a smooth and sensual base of white musk, warm tonka bean, sweet amber, and earthy oak moss. Dubai Nights is sweet, syrupy, and more musky than Arabian's Tonka. So this comes in an Extrait de Parfum concentration. It's priced at about $45, and it's not likely to go any lower than that. This is a recommended buy for me. And now for something exotic, we have Fragrance World's Lapis Lazuli, and that's a clone of Carolina Herrera's Saffron Lazuli. And you could probably tell by the packaging. With Lapis Lazuli, you get saffron, amber, and a touch of leather. It's very elegant and slightly mysterious.
Sensational.
So Fragrance World did a great job balancing the sweet and spicy notes. It smells high-end, no question. It opens with warm saffron, a hint of sweet black currant, and creamy tonka bean. As it dries down, you get smooth iris, a touch of rose, and a leather vanilla base that feels elegant and a little mysterious. This is a gorgeous date night fragrance and a very well done clone. So Lapis Lazuli goes for about $28, while this version goes for several hundred. So unless you enjoy spending money to smell 10% better, go with the Fragrance World version. And of course, we've got to end with the king. This is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man, and it's a clone of Creed Aventus. So this is the Extrait de Parfum concentration, which is new for 2025, and in my opinion, it's the best version of the Intense Man line. So this is a pineapple and musk bomb, and it smells terrific. This opens with a beautiful pineapple and blackcurrant burst, which gives it a fruity sweetness. As the fragrance dries, the smoky birch takes center stage, blended with a subtle sweetness from the vanilla and a slightly sensual, slightly creamy musk. This combination creates a sophisticated and masculine scent trail. Because this is an Extrait de Parfum concentration, it projects beautifully, it lasts 8 to 10 hours on the skin and even longer on clothing. So Creed Aventus represents the pinnacle of men's fragrance, and Armaf has done a fantastic job replicating that. So Creed fragrances are so expensive that I really can't recommend them to anybody unless you have money to burn or you just really enjoy luxury fragrances. And Armaf's version is so good, you don't really need to buy the original. Buy this one and you'll still be able to buy groceries afterwards. That's 12 luxury fragrances versus their clones. And truth be told, some of these are scary close. Let me know which of these clones you thought was best or which ones you'd like me to test next. If you like this content, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.